It's Brian Preston, the money guy.
Question from Sergio. How lenient are the guys with the 23-8 rule if I plan on holding my car for its entire useful life? He says, I'm referring to Corollas and Civics here, not Jaguars and Land Rovers.
Oh, is that the end of the question?
That's it, yeah.
Okay.
We should probably go over what the 23-8 rule is, too.
Well, here's the question I have, a clarifier for you to talk about, and then you can go over. I think a lot of people, because if Sergio is probably wondering if he can, the question, if you're talking about Corollas and other things, because realize this whole thing is to be about discipline. We don't want your eyes and your ego to be bigger than what your wallet can afford. That's really why we have 23-8. And a lot of people have a sticking point that we have 3 years. And I'm going to tell you, I'm very rigid on the fact that I think you should pay off the car within 3 years. But I am flexible if somebody's offering you the same interest rate on a 4-year loan or 5-year loan as the 3-year loan, take them up on that. I mean, I'm okay with you having that way. If you got an emergency, I like having flexibility. But I still want this car paid off within 3 years.
I was going to say, you're saying if the interest rate is the same, it's okay to take the 5-year payment, but then you need to do the math to calculate what the 3-year payment should be. I think that's a fine strategy. But you are saying we're pretty strict on 23-8. Like, even if you're going to drive it for 10 years, it doesn't make sense to finance it for 5, even if you're going to have it for that whole useful life, because all that car is doing is depreciating. It's just becoming less and less and less and less valuable. And so you're kind of throwing the money away on interest for a depreciating asset. That's why we love you getting out of the car debt inside of 3 years. Now, his actual question was, how lenient are you on it? I'll say we're this lenient, Brian. We love if you pay cash for cars.
Yeah.
If you want to not do 23-8, if you want to do 100-0-0, we're totally okay with that. There is nothing wrong with doing it more aggressively than this. But when you stretch 23-8, we wouldn't stretch it the other way. We wouldn't put less down or finance for longer, have it be a bigger chunk of your income, because a true financial mutant doesn't need to do that, right? A car should be a utilitarian asset until you reach the level of financial success where it becomes a preferential asset, right? I mean, that's what the very first car that you bought, Brian, wasn't a Tesla. It wasn't a nice car. It was something that was functional for you and your family, and then you graduated into the nicer things.
Yeah, and I also think it's important. Let's catch everybody up. 23-8 is 20% down. You don't finance a car for longer than 3 years, and you don't want your car payments, because we're already giving you some grace in the fact that there's a lot of other pundits that say you have to pay cash 100%. We know that reliable transportation to get to your JOB so you actually can save and start building wealth for the long term might require you to have reliable transportation, so we don't want the car payments to exceed 8% of your gross income. And then don't forget, if your investments are less than your car payment, you are doing it wrong. I'm talking about your monthly investment should exceed your car payment. But it is interesting to me, Sergio. My daughter, we went on a cruise for Christmas, and they had a game show, Price is Right. Now my youngest daughter is just gaga for Price is Right. And we've been going on YouTube and watching.
Who's the host? Is it Drew Carey? Or
It's Drew Carey.
These older
no,
shows?
we're watching both.
Okay.
We're full bore into this thing at this point. But Bob Barker, we've been going back to 1975 episodes. By the way, he's 52 years old when he was doing the episodes
Back
in
then?
1975. Because I was trying to figure out, am I older than Bob Barker when he started doing, the money guy? I was trying to figure all this out. But no, he's 99 years old still. But Bob Barker, God bless him. But anyway, cars in 1975, when they're in the Showcase Showdown, $3,000.
That's wild.
Now, when you watch the Drew Carey version, cars that are these entry-level vehicles, it's not uncommon for these things to be $26,000, $27,000. And Sergio, the only reason that I'm going to take a hard line on this is that car manufacturers realize that some of us get caught in a certain type of car, but they want to squeeze as much out of you as possible, so they will have the base level, and then they'll have the prestige level, or they'll have the platinum level. They'll name them all these different things. But I want you to keep yourself honest to yourself, because you'll be like, yeah, it's a Corolla. But if you're buying the platinum version of the Corolla, whereas maybe your budget should have you buying the LX version of the Corolla, pay attention to those things. I know that makes us have a hard line, and I like giving as much flexibility. I'm the most grace-filled person out there. But this is one of them because cars are napalm for your financial future. I have to kind of, this is when I actually have to take the hard line with it.
Yeah, to play a little devil's advocate to Sergio, because I empathize with like, okay, here's the rule. How much could I go? But I feel like 23.8 already is some leeway.
It is.
Because
It's generous.
that was refreshing to me when I met you guys, because so many other people who give, smarter or more conservative financial advice, like pay cash, pay
Only
cash, pay
cash,
cash. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, we could get a more reliable vehicle, but still do it a smart financial way.
Yeah.
Well,
So I like 23.8 for that reason.
think
I
that's a
like that
great
you guys
point.
stuck to it. Yeah.
Is because most people can't repair their car. I mean, I go out, open the hood.
So you shake
I'll
something.
Fonzie a few
close-
thing on there, tap on it, and see if that does it. And then I'm like, all right, I'm done. And that, you can get away with that maybe. What do you figure, Bo? Here, if we had the same excuse coming every day, what do you think? 3 times you get away with it before your
For somebody
employer
saying,
starts
"Hey,
going,
I can't come to work."
Yeah,
Well,
I mean,
hey,
you probably start going, man, what's going on here? So
Right.
I mean, that's why we want to make sure that you had rules with flexibility so you could actually survive no matter what's coming your way.